Children, next we can derive an expression for the fringe width of an indifference pattern. So now you are familiar with the indifference fringes and indifference pattern. So this is the experimental setup of the double slit experiment. This is the main source, and this source illuminates two narrow slits separated by a small distance d. The distance between these two slits is small d. Okay. Then a screen is placed at a distance of capital D from this slits. Now here x is the distance between the point P and O. I have not marked x here, so you can just note down x. What is x? X is the distance between P, this point P, and O. Okay. This distance is x. Now join S1P and S2P. Okay, we are considering a point P on the screen at a distance x from the center O. Okay children, consider a point P on the screen separated by distance x from the center point O. So here indifference pattern is obtained on the screen because this is the setup for indifference double slit experiment. So in the double slit experiment, indifference fringes are obtained on the screen, and we are considering a point P on the screen which is at a distance of x from the center of the screen. Join S1P and S2P. Okay, so here waves are generating from S1 and waves are also generated from S2. So the waves from S1 and S2 travels and reaches the point P. So do they travel the same distance? No. The waves traveling from S1 is covering a small distance than the wave traveling from S2. Okay, then what will be the path difference between them? So what is the difference in path of these two waves? So to find out that path difference, we can just consider a small line here. Okay, now if we consider the distance from this point to this point and this point to this point, both are similar. So what is the path difference, or what is the extra path covered by the waves from the point S2? This is that extra path. Okay, and how do we get the expression for this extra path? This is S2P minus S1P. So the small distance or this extra distance is equal to S2P minus S1P, isn't it? So that is a path difference between the waves generated from S2 and S1. Okay, so the waves from S2 has to travel this much extra distance in order to reach the point P. They don't have the same path difference, and the nature of indifference pattern obtained on the point P depends on this path difference. That means whether brightness or darkness is obtained at the point P on the screen, that depends upon this path difference. You had already studied in the mathematical analysis of superposition. When the path difference is n lambda, brightness is obtained on the screen. When path difference is 2 minus 1 lambda by 2, what is obtained on the screen? Darkness is obtained on the screen. So what is the path difference? That whether path difference is integral multiple of lambda or whether it is odd integral multiple of lambda by 2, that determines the brightness or darkness on this point P. Okay, now here the distance between screen and the slit is capital D, and we had already find out the path difference. Path difference P is S2P minus S1P, and we are considering some triangles here. Triangle S2BP and triangle S1AP. S2BP means S2BP. This is the triangle S2BP. Okay, so we are drawing three normals. One normal from S1 to the screen, and that normal meet the screen at A, and another normal from the main source, and it is the center, and it is meeting the center of the screen at the point O. Then another normal from S2 to the screen, which meets the screen at the point B. And here we are considering the right angle triangle S2BP, and also we are considering the right angle triangle S1AP. That means this triangle. And from this triangle, use the Pythagoras theorem. That means S2P square minus S1P square. What is S2P square minus S1P square? In this triangle S1AP, S1P is the hypotenuse. So S1P square is equal to S1A square plus PA square. Okay. Similarly, in this triangle S2BP, S2P is the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. So hypotenuse square S2P square is equal to S2B square plus BP square. Okay. So here we can substitute that. So S2P square minus S1P square equal to S2B square plus PB square. Why? Because S2P square is, I will write here, S2P square is S2B square plus BP square or PB square. S2B square plus PB square. So instead of S2P square, you can write S2B square plus PB square. And also instead of S1P square, you can write S1A square plus PA square. You will get this result from the triangle S1AP. Okay. Now substitute for S2B. What is S2B? S2B is capital D. D square plus PB. What is PB? This distance is PB. So this distance is X and this small distance is D by 2. Isn't it? So what is PB? PB will be X plus D by 2. So PB square will be X plus D by 2 whole square minus S1A square. What is S1A? S1A, again S1A will be same, capital D, D square plus PA square. PA, this is PA. So this whole distance is X, isn't it? And from X you need to subtract D by 2. So you will get this small distance PA. So PA is equal to X minus D by 2. Okay. So PA square is equal to X minus D by 2 whole square. And now just simplify this. Just simplify this. Remove the bracket. Take minus sign into the bracket. And after simplification, some like terms will be cancelled. And you are left with the term 2xd. Okay. So S2p square minus S1p square is equal to 2xd. And you know a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So S2p square minus S1p square is equal to S2p plus S1p into S2p minus S1p. That is equal to 2xd. And from this, take S2p plus S1p to the RHS part. So you will get 2xd by S2p plus S1p equal to 2xd by xd by t. So you will get 2xd by S2p plus S1p equal to 2xd by 2d. How will you get 2d here? Since the point P is very much close to O, S1p and S2b can be approximately considered as equal. That means the path difference is very, very small. So both difference can be S1p and S2p can be approximately considered as equal, and both can be equated to capital D. So S2p and S1p can be equal to or approximately equal to capital D. So here we will get D plus D, that is 2D. 2 will be cancelled. So you are left with xd by capital D. So S2p minus S1p is equal to xd by capital D. And what is S2p minus S1p? That is our path difference P. So our path difference P is equal to xd by capital D. And this is the path difference. You had already learned the condition for brightness and darkness in path difference. What is that? If path difference is equal to n lambda, brightness is obtained on the screen. So here path difference is xt by capital D, and if it is equal to n lambda, brightness is observed. And from this, what is x? X is equal to n lambda into d by small d. So n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. N can start from 0. So if x is equal to 0, brightness is obtained. If x is equal to lambda d by d, brightness is obtained. If x is equal to 2 lambda d by d, brightness is obtained. Okay, so if path difference is, or if x is equal to n lambda d by d, you will get the brightness or bright fringe on the screen. And what do you mean by this x? X is the position of the point P from the center of the screen. Okay, so x is the position of the fringe or position of the band. Okay, then if it is the first band, then n is equal to 0. If it is the second band, n is equal to 1. If n is equal to 2, it will be the third bright band, like that. Okay, then what is the condition for darkness? You had already learned, if path difference is 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, darkness is obtained. So if path difference xd by d equal to 2n minus lambda by 2, darkness is obtained. From this, what is x? X is equal to 2n minus 1 d lambda by 2d. Sorry, here there is 2d. So this is the condition for darkness. And n here starts from 1, not from 0. So here n starts from 1. Okay, when n is 1, you will get d lambda by 2d. So when x is equal to d lambda by 2d, you will get the first dark fringe. And substitute n is equal to 2. When you substitute n is equal to 2, you will get 2 into 2, 4, 4 minus 1, 3, 3d lambda by 2d. When x is equal to 3d lambda by 2d, you will get the second dark fringe, like that. So x represents the position of the band or fringe from the center. And what about the central band? See, this point O is equidistant from S1 as well as from S2, isn't it? Point O is at equal distance from S1 and S2. So the waves originated from S1 and S2 travel same distance to reach the point O. If we consider the waves, suppose the waves from S2 travels this much distance to reach the point O. Similarly, the waves from S2 travels this much distance to reach the point O. See, when you consider these two distances, both are equal. They have traveled the same path in order to reach the point O. So at the point O, the path difference will be always 0 because the point O is at equal distance from S1 and S2. So at the point O, always the bright fringe is obtained, and that bright fringe is known as the central bright fringe. Okay, so at the point O, always a bright fringe is obtained. Maximum is obtained on the screen. And as we move from O upwards or downwards, alternate dark and bright fringes are obtained, like this. Okay, so this is O, and here always brightness, at this point always brightness is obtained. And as we move upwards and downwards from O, you will get alternate dark and bright. So this is the dark fringe, this is the bright fringe, again dark, again bright, like that. Here also, after the central bright, you will get the dark, then bright, then dark, then bright, like this. So this is the indifference pattern. See, all the fringes are at equal distance. Okay, and also all are having the same intensity. All bright bands are having the same intensity always. The intensity are not decreasing as we move from O upwards as well as downwards. So this is the interference pattern, and this is the central bright fringe. At the center of the screen, always bright fringes obtained, and this will be the first dark fringe. This will be the first bright fringe after the central fringe. Okay, and this will be the first dark fringe, this will be the secondary or second dark fringe, like that. Okay children, so this is the interference pattern. This is the first dark fringe, this is the first bright fringe. Here also, this is the first dark fringe and this is the first bright fringe as we move downwards from O. So this is about the interference pattern. And what will be the expression for fringe width here? What will be the expression for fringe width? Fringe width is the distance between two consecutive bright band or consecutive dark band. So here if you consider these two bands, these are two consecutive bright band, and this distance is the distance between two consecutive bright fringe. So this is fringe width beta. Fringe width is denoted by beta. And if you consider this distance, this is the distance between two consecutive dark fringe. This is also the fringe width beta. And what will be the expression for this fringe width? So to find out the expression for that fringe width, we need to consider this expression. We can consider the expression for bright fringe as well as dark fringe. But here we are considering the expression for bright fringe, and for bright fringe x must be equal to n lambda capital D by D, and this beta is the distance between two consecutive bright fringe. So if first bright fringe occurs at x is equal to n lambda D by D, then second bright fringe occurs at x n plus 1 equal to n plus 1 lambda D by D. Isn't it? This will be the position of the next bright fringe. So the distance between these two positions will give the fringe width beta. So xn plus 1 minus xn will be the fringe width beta. So here just do the subtraction, n plus 1 lambda D by D minus n lambda D by D. You will get d lambda by D. Okay, so fringe width beta is lambda capital D by small d, and from this expression it is very clear fringe width is independent of n. That means the number of fringes or the position of the fringe from the center O. So beta is same irrespective of the position from O. Whatever be the distance or whatever be the height of the fringe from the center point, the fringe width will be same. Fringe width will not change. That is very clear from this pattern. Here we can see the separation between each of the bright band is always same. All fringes are situated at equal distance. Okay, that means fringe width does not depend upon the position of the fringe from the center. So that's all about the interference pattern, fringe width, and also the condition for darkness and brightness in an interference pattern.